What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to episode number 80 of Debate and Destroy, the one and only podcast where we take two legendary albums, go track for track to find out which reigns supreme. I'm your host, as always, Blackout Bill, joined my co-host, the Fiend from Carrizo Springs.
Loco JJ.
Loco JJ's in the mix, and we're joined again by a very special guest.
That's
the
right.
truest, most cult member of the Debate and Destroy crew. Could be argued.
I'm flattered, man.
Carlos,
Yes.
the Emperor
No.
of, with a V, of metal, dude.
Blackout Bill, Local JJ. It's been about 4 months since the last
It's
one.
been a
so,
while,
Yeah, it
man.
has.
Yeah.
It has been a while. We're glad to have you back.
I don't take this for granted. I appreciate that y'all decide to have me on this. This is, hey, no better way to spend a Friday evening. So.
Dude,
There we
100%.
go.
So
It's a
we're
blast with you,
psyched,
man.
and we're back for a big one, episode
Oh,
80.
Yeah, this one.
It's been a while.
I'm nervous, man.
Yeah.
I really am.
And it's been a while since we've done black metal, so we had to bring it
Ooh,
full
yeah.
circle and take it to the somewhat origin, kind of second wave black metal, but
Yeah.
take it all the way back with these two legendary bands that everyone knows.
Well, so wait, William, sorry for a quick preamble. So when I was working at your mom's house, you
Yeah.
had on that Abbott shirt. So this
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is a full
There
circle
you go.
moment.
It really is. That's right. That's right. But yeah, so we obviously, if you didn't read the title, we got Mayhem, De Mysteriis, Dom Sathanas.
Oh,
you know?
what a mouthful, dude.
Yeah, versus Under a Funeral Moon.
Jeez,
that's
two-
By
hard.
Darkthrone.
Two opuses from the second wave of black metal.
Yeah, they really are.
Yes.
In the second wave, okay, Mayhem kind of transcends a little bit first and second wave, kind of, because we'll get into,
yeah.
you know, I guess the album was written late 80s by Dead and Euronymous,
Yeah,
but it
it's
wasn't
like
recorded till the
87.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they had
looked-
played shows and stuff.
it was
So
literally-
I'd put Mayhem maybe more so in the first wave with like,
Arguably so.
Arguably with
because Mayhem
Bathory
is
and-
84.
holy shit,
Yeah.
really? When did is that when what's the Curse of the Blackhearts or whatever?
Death Cross came out 87, and I think
Okay,
Pure
okay.
Fucking Armageddon I think was the year before, and that was
Got
like
it. And does Death Crush have Dead doing the vocals? It
No,
does.
that's Maniac.
Oh, that's Maniac. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. You know all the history of these two.
Oh,
But you
so
picked
much.
these two. You suggest this debate, so why don't you elaborate?
Now, William,
to
I
the
promise,
people?
just a real quick,
Okay.
nothing quick. I mean, super
Tell
quick.
us the dark history.
So I remember I actually got first into black metal before Death, and it wasn't even the music. So
Yeah.
I gotta mention my old Mark Morin and Adam Martinez, the guys who got me into Sepultura.
Yeah.
They were the first dudes I saw in MacArthur wearing Cradle of Filth shirts.
Oh, got you.
Oh,
got you.
nice.
Yeah.
So Adam had the Midian shirt,
Yeah.
and Mark had the I think it was like from Cradle to Enslave era.
Yeah.
So imagine being 14 years old and seeing that Cradle of Filth logo.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
That's
Holy
intense.
shit.
dude.
and I
That's
was strictly
intense.
into new metal at the time. But I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is that band? Just based on the logo, I knew there was something
Yeah.
extreme about it.
Yeah.
So this dude, another guy called Brandon Moravitz, who was also friends with Adam, he ended up burning me. He was in my reading class. He burned me a copy of Nothing But Cradle of Filth songs, and I'll admit, I was scared. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just imagine just being in your early teens and just hearing something
Oh,
like
I know.
that. It's like,
I think
it was-
when I first heard her Ghost in the Fog, I was like 13 or 14. I had the same reaction.
Imagine the
I was like,
feeling,
bro,
dude.
this is fucking, what is this
Oh,
shit?
no, this shit's
This
crazy.
is not Metallica.
Yeah.
That's
and
very
then
different.
last little comment. So Cradle of Filth ended up doing Ozfest 2003.
Got you. Yeah.
They signed with Sony Records for Damnation in a Day.
Got
so
you.
the following school year, which would have been 10th grade, there was like 20 Cradle of Filth shirts.
Yeah.
They blew up, at least here in America with that album.
Yeah, with Midian or.
No.
No, the
Promise
one
of
after,
Fever.
Oh, okay.
That record, I guess it was just major label mumbo jumbo, and they really did help them become
Gotcha.
bigger in the States.
Yeah.
And I guess last little comment, and then we'll finally get to the debate. Y'all, Satyricon, second wave. Y'all do know
Yeah,
who drummed
yeah.
with Satyricon, right?
Yeah, Frost, right?
No, he
Oh.
couldn't get into the States because of, I think he was incarcerated for a while. So y'all know
Oh.
who filled in, right?
No.
Joey fucking Jordison.
What?
Did he really?
That's
I did not know that. That's
crazy.
fucking badass.
So,
Holy
so
shit.
this was around-
Wait, first of all, why couldn't Frost get in?
He was incarcerated.
Oh, okay, he's a criminal.
You know.
Yeah, he was
no
in
Frost.
So
Killed a few people, you know.
me being a massive Slipknot fan,
Yeah.
Joey was on that show I told you about Uranium.
Yeah.
He was Julia was interviewing Satyricon at the time, and Joey was there. So I was like, "Who's this Satyricon band?"
Yeah.
And then I heard the Fuel for Hatred. I was like, "Oh, damn, this is pretty sick." So,
Yeah.
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 So it's kind of funny how I dabbled with black metal before death metal.
Got you. And then Satyricon the one that bridged you into like the Mayhems and the Darkthrones of the world.
But it was in the course of about 4 years because I was
Got you.
more or less curious about the genre. But
Yeah.
me actually locking into extreme metal as a whole, Black and Death, was after I graduated in 2006. So
Got you. Now let me ask you this: nowadays, like years later, do you hold black metal as one of your favorite genres? Where would you say it places, or you think it's like a little overrated, underrated, something in the middle?
that's
I'd
a good
say.
Like, are you listening to a ton of black metal nowadays? Is what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at.
for sure. Not the most, but it's definitely. I wouldn't say it's number one, but I'd
Got
say
you.
it'd
Yeah.
probably be number 5.
Gotcha. What about
Like-
you, JJ? You're somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, like middle tier. Like I mean, I prefer thrash. And
I know you
Yeah,
prefer.
yeah,
I think you prefer almost every genre, maybe except prog metal.
I think for me
might
it'd
have
be
black
new metal. All
I know
that.
we got to move on to the debate. For me,
Yeah.
it'd probably be mellow death, groove, death, thrash, and then new. New and black are kind of tight.
Dang. Okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's
So
probably
you're not
my-
like a black metal purist elitist by any.
Absolutely
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Come
And
on,
I
dude.
know you.
I
are,
just know
yeah.
the staples, like the good staples. and
Gotcha.
A
Oh,
few
in the
other
black
ba-
metal, what's the staples? No, I'm just like.
Whoa, yeah. I mean, we got
Yeah.
Dissection. You got.
Oh, staples. That's in bands.
Oh,
like the
yeah,
staple
yeah.
bands. I thought
Yeah,
you were
the
like,
staples.
And,
what are the hits in black metal? Like,
And I guess final comment, and we'll finally get to the debate. My best friend Ivan, who I've mentioned numerous times, when we reconnected in 2006, he was already in an extreme metal rabbit hole. So he introduced me to a lot of. I think he got me into Darkthrone, and here's a deep cut from Finland. Ever heard of a band called Katamania?
oh,
No, I haven't.
not anything to do with catatonia.
No.
Totally different.
Katamania is more like a
fucking with you.
melodic black, super hyper. Y'all need to check him out.
Okay, that's not. I mean, sounds like something I should listen to. But yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
funny. I think I brought this up on the Emperor because the last black metal episode that I can remember. We did Dissection against Magua with Justin, which was really fun. Storm of the Lights, Bane, and then Exercise in Futility.
Yes, I did that
and then
one.
we did Emperor versus Enslaved, Frost, and Into the Night Side Eclipse, which I love those albums. Emperor was my
Timeless
first
classics.
intro to true black metal with a V, right? Because I think Matt Heffy would always rep their shirts.
All
and
the
I was
time.
like
Oh,
15
yeah,
or
yeah.
16.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck is that band that he's always wearing?
Oh,
Like, I
remember
wanna-
Roadrunner United?
Well, he's such a big fan of Ishan.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was like, well, let me check out this band Emperor, and I had
Yeah.
read some stuff and how good Into the Night Side Eclipse was. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, this is fucking garbage. Like, it took me like 2 or 3 years to actually finally get into black metal. You know,
Yeah, I agree. I think for
It-
black
it-
metal, you really have to sit
Yeah,
down
it's
and pay
it's a
attention
grower
to it.
Yeah.
genre.
It's a
'Cause-
grower genre. It's more of a vibe.
Because I'll be
Exactly.
honest
Yeah.
with the Under Funeral Moon, the first time I listened to it, I did not fucking like. I was like, I texted Will. I was
Oh,
like, bro,
goodness.
this is gonna be such a fucking blowout.
Yeah.
But the more you listen to, it,
Oh, no,
honestly,
dude.
It's sorry,
Yeah.
like maybe not vibe's the right word because people use that as like Gen Z, like oh, it's a vibe. But
it's
it's
just-
the atmosphere that it
The
that it gives
atmosphere
you
that it
versus
creates,
like
yes.
I'm actively listening to the riffs. You know, if that
exactly.
makes
So
sense.
once you start paying attention, oh shit,
Oh, once
this
you get
guy's
into the
fucking
record,
banging,
it's a
dude.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
when it like gets its fangs into you, you know,
Exactly.
you're like, oh, I'm hooked.
I was like,
you
oh
know?
my god,
Yeah.
what am I missing out on here, dude?
But it was much easier. And I'll bring this up probably a couple times, but it was much easier for me to get into Darkthrone than Mayhem. Like, you know what I mean?
I gotcha.
Even Darkthrone over probably Emperor and Enslaved. Enslaved was easier because their later catalog.
Yeah, but the
Darkthrone
early-
going
yeah.
back because you have songs like In the Shadow of the Horns, which is like not blasting the whole time. You know, you have those big riffs to start the song, right? So
Yes.
like that was a gateway to me to like check out this genre of black metal. But
Oh, hot
yeah.
take. I know we got to. Darkthrone is the Judas Priest of extreme metal because the catalog is just so diverse.
I
You
can
have
see
one-
that,
Darkthrone
honestly.
is the Judas Priest of extreme metal. That's an interesting take.
They have one
Yeah.
death metal album, then they have like their
The
trilogy,
Unholy trilogy.
the
Yeah,
Unholy
yeah.
trilogy,
They're
then traditional
unholy.
black, and then they go crust punk, then heavy
Yeah.
metal-ish. Literally, dude, the genre.
They
the
experiment
Darkthrone,
for
they,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember checking out with the new stuff. It's like Arctic, what is it?
Arctic Thunder.
Arctic Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember putting it on. I'm like, well, this is a little different.
The best one from the newer ones is the Underground Resistance from
Oh,
2013.
yeah,
that
yeah.
one is incredible.
That's a fucking good record.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
I haven't put it on in a long time. I'm gonna have to do that now.
That's actually my second favorite one from them. So.
no shit. Okay. Do you like Soulside?
Soul
Is that the
Side.
first
Yeah,
one?
the death metal. It's very solid old school death metal.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to it, to be honest. Like, I've done the Unholy Trinity many times, but I don't think I ever listened to Soulside.
Yeah.
If I did, I don't remember it at all.
Okay, gentlemen, that's enough of my blabbering. So let's get on to the let's get on to the goodies.
Let's get on to the goodies. So
Yeah.
we're here
Mayhem versus Darkthrone.
today.
Let's do
so
this.
we got to go home and away. I think I chose Mayhem because it's obviously the more popular.
Oh,
record.
yeah, it's
I
iconic.
would think-
I mean, they
Yeah.
It's like the
both
biggest
are,
black
but-
metal record ever because the legacy with fucking Dead
Well,
and then
all the dark
Euronymous
history, yeah,
and
dude.
Varg, all in the
Shit's
same.
crazy,
you know,
dude.
associated with the record.
It's
Yeah.
kind of very creepy that the bassist murdered the guitar player.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty black metal, guys.
That is pretty black metal. I'll ask you another question about that later. But all right. Boom. All right. We got the background set. Let's kick this motherfucker off, dude. Track number 1.
That's right.
Let's start it off. So, how do you even say this?
Natassja.
Natassja in Eternal Sleep versus Funeral Fog.
About the
Yo, I'm gonna be
evil
honest. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh man, here we go.
These are probably both of these songs. I don't know why they started either record
I know.
with these songs.
The
They're
back-
probably my bottom 2 songs on both
Really?
records. Yeah, dude.
I really like Natassja.
Really?
mean,
I don't like that. Like,
it's
I don't-
very punky.
It
It
is
is,
punky.
dude.
I just don't like that. Like, and they use the same notes like the entire song.
Yeah,
yeah.
At the 53-second mark, though, it's just something. Just imagine driving and there's just pure fog and just.
Yeah.
I just imagine myself being like on a trance, and
I
just
agree
like,
with that on other songs that I like better on this record, but for me, this one I'm like, that's okay.
It's very
like,
simple,
it's not,
straightforward,
It's not
yeah.
my favorite on planet. I just think there's. I'll put it this way: I don't hate either of the songs.
No.
I'm just confused on why these two would open the record. You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
Because
gotcha.
I'll put it. Let me, because I know more about Darkthrone than I do Mayhem. The last record starts with Catherian Life Code or whatever. That song, like, yeah, that's how you start a fucking record.
okay.
You
Fair
know,
enough,
because
fair
I'm
enough.
ready for. I'll put it this way, because with that one, there's like this epic build up. Where he's like, "We are a place," and then Scott, and then you just get walloped by sound.
Yeah.
Where this one just really, like you said, straightforward, punky.
It's
just
fucking dirty and grimy, dude.
Yeah.
It's a gross song,
Would y'all
dude.
consider black metal just transgressive punk rock?
Dude, honestly, the older I
think
get,
so,
it kind of,
dude.
it just
is.
really is.
It's very
I've-
punky, bro.
I've always
Yeah.
said black metal musicians they're just frustrated punkers and old school heavy metalers.
and then without
Yeah.
distortions, like surfer rock.
they're all just one.
Yeah. No, they have distortion. They just don't have good production like
Yeah.
old school punk. I think there's a lot of similarities to punk, but there's also enough of a difference that it's not punk, right? Like punk is not doing blasting and they're not doing vocals anywhere near as, guttural or, visceral as these, right? So I think it definitely separated, but I see what you're saying. Like when you listen to the production style, you're like, oh, this fits in with fucking all types of old school punk. I could, especially hardcore punk, I would say, like Bad Brains, Misfits,
Oh, exactly.
all that kind of stuff. You can hear the similarities from a tonal perspective, right? But
But Funeral Fog, though, man, just it starts off very pummeling.
Oh, yeah.
Hellhammer's
That's just
drums
furious,
they're just
dude.
blistering.
Dude, that guy is the fucking man.
Hellhammer
dude.
is
He's so
nasty.
good.
it's nasty.
Yes.
We're gonna have a lot of conversation about Gulve or Fenris against Hellhammer, but
Yeah.
I think obviously Hellhammer is a more technically
Oh,
proficient
exactly.
drummer.
Absolutely. You can
Obviously.
tell the
Very
difference.
precise.
Yes.
Very precise,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the shit that he can do,
And
like
the
his blasts,
durability.
his
It's
endurance is
insane.
wild.
And I guess when we're talking about in a few episodes earlier about unique personalities, Hellhammer, when he hits the drums, you kind of know that it's him.
Yeah. But I'd argue the same thing for Gulve, but not on this track specifically. He's got the best. He's the Lars Ulrich of black metal. Because when he fucking grooves,
He knows
like,
how to
he
put
just
the
stomps
spots.
and does those caveman beats. For some reason, he does it better than like anyone else. I'm just like, we'll get to it. There's not,
Okay,
not
gotcha,
but
gotcha,
not
gotcha.
this song specifically.
I know what you're
when we
saying,
go to
yeah.
straight up blasting, that's where Gulve, right? Or what's his Gulve? Gilve? I don't know how to
I
fucking
wrote
say
it
his name.
down, but
I'll
I
call him
can't say
Fenris.
it, yeah.
Fenris. When it comes to his
what was the? I think remember when Sam Dunn financed the Extreme Metal episode?
yeah.
Fenris was talking about how he hated how Chuck got a little more technical, and he
Yeah.
wanted the. I can't do the damn noise, but I get what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
he wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
remain being a caveman. He hated that in Florida it got a little more.
Technical, and then the
Yeah.
production
Yeah.
just kept because this is so funny because when I first watched those documentaries of Fenris talk about this problem, right? About like I don't like what was going on in the death metal scene in Florida because it was becoming more polished, blah blah blah. Like with those bands, I don't really see it being so polished, right? But where we end up today in 2025, dude, everything is so over polished that I'm like, Fenris was right, dude. It went the worst.
Hey.
It's
Barnesy was right. Sorry.
Barnesy. Both of them in some regard,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like I've heard Fenris articulate it more in the
Yeah.
tonality of like, all right, when you polish some metal shouldn't be like pop. You know,
Fenris
and it's
was more-
literally fucking turned into pop.
Yeah,
you know?
Fenris was a lot more eloquent than.
Yeah, I would say so too.
I'd say Chris was very cryptic. I think that's why people were so angry
Yeah.
at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't specify, so.
But no, and I think he's just, and a personality, he's probably my favorite in the whole black metal.
he
in the
seems,
Norway black metal
he
scene.
seems like someone you'd want to have a beer with.
Dude,
Yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
but he's
That's
such a loner
funny.
too. I don't know, he's a goofy. All those
Yeah.
Norwegians, dude, they're kind of goofy. But anyway, we're
This
getting
was
sidetracked
For me,
completely.
this was a little tough one, but I'm gonna end up going with Funeral Fog. So.
Really? Okay,
Wow.
so this one was, like I said, these were like bottom tier songs on the albums for me. Like, and I'll
Yeah.
get into more of the ranking when we go on to the albums. You know, one big thing I have to bring up is the vocal difference between Nocturnal Culto
Oh my
and
gosh,
Attila.
yes,
Dude, Nocturnal Culto's voice is like 20 million times better.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
he,
dude.
He is a demon. Oh my
It depends on the track. Like, Attila,
No, for the most part, it's
Attila,
Yes,
dude, this song specifically might be his worst performance.
Bro, he sounds like a drunk Dave Mustaine. I'm sorry. He
no,
really
he's
does,
no,
dude.
don't even put him up there. How dare you? Don't
He
even put him
sounds like
anywhere
a
near
drunk
Dave
killing
Mustaine.
me,
Come on, he
What the
knows
fuck
it's
are you-
true, dude.
Bro, fuck
He knows
both of
it's
you.
true, dude.
Dave, that's such a dumb take, dude. I'm not even gonna listen to
You're
that.
gonna have me. I'm an ogre, and you're gonna have this ogre laughing. Oh my gosh!
Fuck
Dang it,
that.
that's
But,
terrible.
dude,
Oh
Attila
my
just
gosh.
sounds like he's fucking drunk in the booth,
that's
dude.
what I was trying to say.
Look. Attila did get better on the latter Mayhem albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard Order Arcao, Esoteric Warfare, and Damon. Those, I think he
I've
does
heard
a-
Esoteric Warfare, and I do agree. He did get better. But what the fuck? Because Dead did not. I don't know. I couldn't. But did they have anything recorded with Dead? Don't they have like a live album?
the Live and Leaks Big. I forget what the name of the.
And
I
they
think-
play some of these songs, don't they?
Yes.
How's it? I need to look that up. Like, how is his
Uh,
performance against
Dead
Attila's?
kind of has almost like a. Geez, I know these black metal dorks are gonna. He kind of has almost like a death metal. Like I can't do it, but
Yeah.
I'd say it's more appealing
But
for
it's
Dead.
more. It's more like. How would I say
It's
this?
like you're fucking Armageddon. I can't
Yeah.
Like
do
a
it, man.
lower register
Yeah,
scream, but
exactly.
it's broken up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind
Okay.
of.
Because the thing with Attila is there's times where I'm like, it's not broken up. Like his voice
I
isn't
think it's-
distorted at all.
I think it's
just kind of
intended-
a yell like this.
I think it's
Ooh.
intended to be operatic or something, but
Bro,
No,
if
it
it's
does- it
operatic,
does
there's no
not
fucking
come off
notes that
as
he's hitting.
operatic,
It's just
dude.
so dissonant.
I don't know what it's
But
the
think-
gimmick he's trying to go for sure.
Nocturnal Cult. He might have one of my favorite voices in black metal. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's better
Fucking
than
awesome.
Ishan. He's better than obviously Attila. He's much better than.
go.
Oh yeah, I was just about to bring up Cole. Even I love Abbott, but that frog shit ain't
Yeah.
working.
No, I like Abba's voice.
I like
dude.
Abba's voice, but or even Demonos's voice. I like both,
Demonos,
but
yeah.
it's not better than Nocturnal Occultus. And then even our guy from Enslaved, the bass player.
Oh my god.
Oh
dude.
my god, it's gonna kill me to remember his
forget his
fucking
name.
Norwegian names. But
Yeah, I know they got.
I know Ivar's the guitarist, and
Yeah.
maybe Gutle. Gutle.
Gutle.
His voice is great. I do love his, but I'd still there's something about Nocturnal's voice. Where I'm like, that's black metal, dude.
Exactly.
Every time and everyone has tried to rip off that vocal style in black metal.
For
It's
the-
very
you know,
unique,
yeah, exactly.
honestly.
It-
for the
it-
black
for the
metal
time,
style,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
And it's
gentlemen,
very fitting.
I know we could go on and on, but have y'all made did y'all make a decision?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
tough.
yeah.
It was tough, but I'm gonna go on the Darkthrone side just because I like the instruments probably more for sure on the Mayhem side, but it's one of those things I couldn't forgive Attila's performance.
I was
I'm not listening to that again.
I was
Like,
conflicted, man. It was
yeah,
It was
And
honestly
I
tough
understand.
for
This
me,
one was a
yeah.
closer one
Mm-hmm.
on the album. It was just one of those things where I'm like, if I'm gonna put on one of these songs, I'm not listening to that vocal performance again. Like I can't.
Gotcha.
I agree with Will, dude. The Funeral Fog, the instruments are fucking
Oh,
amazing.
it's-
Hellhammer just goes off, but
Yeah.
I gotta go with Natassja.
That's
I can't
fair
even
enough,
fucking
man.
say it.
Fair enough.
The witch.
Natassja in eternal sleep. Dang. All right.
Yeah.
Guessed up one. Let's go on to track number 2. I thought this was probably the hardest one on the album.
Oh,
I think it
this-
was like second.
This
or
is
third
really
hardest.
fucking
this
tough.
one was really
Summer of the Diabolical Holocaust versus Freezing Moon.
I do like the way you enunciate Freezing Moon. It's very demonic, dude. That's pretty fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first, but the more you listen to it, it becomes like, that's so ice cold.
Arguably the biggest song in the genre.
Yeah. Definitely Mayhem's biggest
yeah.
song, and arguably, yeah, I agree with that.
Surprisingly, it's not my favorite though. I think there's a better one.
No, I agree with that. But
Yeah.
dude, you can't deny that build up.
Oh yeah.
Like the build up in Freezing Moon is
Yeah,
undeniably one of the best in black metal. I can see why it's so popular because it's like very, very. It's like macabre, like very not dissonant, but it's kind of like eerie, right? And then
Yes.
you get hit with that riff, and it's the first time they groove.
Yeah.
And almost one of the only times they groove on the record
Yeah,
is that
Yeah.
part.
The riffing prior to Hellhammer's blasting is like very suspenseful. Like
Yes. Yeah, that riff, right, like you said, right before they get into the verses, quote unquote, until the blasting
Yeah.
is extremely groovy. And I wish they would do that more because Darkthrone knows when the groove, right? And, I love the grooves, and I think they work really well in black metal to break up the monotony of just straight da 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 da.
It breaks it up, for sure.
But Hellhammer does fucking flex.
I'm telling you, the guy's a monster. Like
Yeah.
I was so impressed with his work, dude. I really was.
He does. But back to my point.
Yeah.
With Fenris on drums, bro, that breakdown in the middle of Summer of a Diabolical Holocaust
Oh, yeah,
is
exactly.
nasty.
It
No,
is.
like I said, he's the Lars Ulrich because when he of black metal, he's the Lars Ulrich of black metal.
He
Hear me
knows
out.
where to
because
put
first
the
of all, he
stomps.
arranges the songs. I think so. There's A. B. He knows when to fucking groove, and that
Yeah.
middle part just. Bum, bum,
Oh, yeah, dude.
bum,
Yeah.
but,
I know
like,
what you're talking about.
and I love, obviously, neither of these recorded to a click because the tempo variations are
It's
hilarious.
all over the fucking
But when
place.
they nail it on the Darkthrone side and they hit that groove, you're like, fuck, man. That makes my head nod like no
Yeah.
tomorrow. You
Dude,
know?
it's true.
I can't imagine that shit live.
And the bassist holds it down really well on this song, dude. What's his name?
Zephyrus?
I don't even know, but he does
I don't know how
such
the
a
fuck
good
to say his
job,
name.
dude.
I can see it right
Like he holds it down while
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
grooving, dude. It's fucking cool.
Zephyronimus. I don't
So,
know.
uh,
I fucking know his name.
So those lucky people that went to Vakken in 2004, they got to see half of the Darkthrone.
Oh, that's cool.
Because
Yeah.
Nocturna Koto got to, he actually did some Darkthrone songs with Satiric on. So those lucky people.
That's
And,
pretty
Nice,
fucking
dude.
cool.
and Darkthrone, well, at least the Darkthrone members, after that, they haven't done anything since. Oh, as
What's
far
with
as
that? Gulve just doesn't like to. He's not like travel. He's not a travel man. He doesn't like to play live. I don't know what his deal is.
I think this is gonna be a hot take. I think deep down they would love to, but I just think they have to keep that
Mystique?
The mystique.
Yeah.
But I think inside they're probably dying. Man, we could really be.
Because dude, some of these songs, like this one,
Yeah,
Summer
yeah.
of the Diabolical Holocaust, I'd love to see that live. Could you imagine that
Oh, that'd
breakdown?
be
We'd be fucking beering it up.
But
just-
again, this is a hot take though. That's what I would like to think.
yeah, true. I think one of the things too, I kind of agree with you in the Mystique aspect because we pulled up YouTube videos last time we were here. I think when we made the decision to do this debate
Oh, yeah,
of
we did.
Darkthrone playing live, like back in the day, and yeah, it's a little rough,
Yeah.
because they don't have like.
They're basically just jamming.
'Cause they're-
together,
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
but black,
dorky motherfuckers, especially Fenris.
But black
it's
metal-
like, dude, just put on a bunch of fog
There you
and
go.
don't say a word to the crowd. Like, just play the fucking songs and it would be great.
your
but black
music.
metal's so much bigger now in 2025. Just imagine how
Yeah, true.
the
That's crazy.
Darkthrone
True.
does. Good, quick question. Did y'all go to the Immortal show in 2011 at Backstage Live?
No. The first,
No.
no, I've never seen a more.
That was the last time Immortal played in America.
Dude, that's cool.
Did you
That
go?
would've been
Yeah, I
fun to
did go.
see, yeah.
Who they tour with?
Band from Dallas, Abzu.
That sounds. Oh,
I
I'm
have
thinking
no-
of the video game. I was like, why does that sound so familiar?
They're
don't know who
another
that
black
is.
metal, but they were actually really good. But
Okay,
no,
cool.
dude, but Immortal they freaking destroyed.
But
it.
Demonos also doesn't tour, right? Like,
No, it was the three guys, man.
oh, Demonos was there.
Yeah.
In Horg or what's
Yeah,
the
oh,
drummer?
yeah.
You
Wow.
saw Horg, dude. If that's how you say his name, that guy's such a good drummer, dude. He's
And that-
unbelievable.
And Ivan, who was a late bloomer to the concert, to going to concerts, that was his first metal concert. He started off
Holy
with black
shit,
metal. I'm
yeah.
like, dude,
Interesting.
Damn.
what a good way to
Because
start,
I only,
dude.
I saw Abbott on that Decibel tour with
Oh,
High
that
on
was a good
Fire.
one, dude.
Was it Tribulation?
It's tribute. No, it was Skeleton Witch.
Skeleton
Witch, High on Fire, and tribute. It was Abbott.
Skeleton
Abbott,
Witch.
but who was the first band?
Oh, Tribulation. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, Tribulation. Yeah, that was a great fucking thing. And I hadn't. I'll put it this way: I hadn't seen a black metal band that I love like I love Immortal songs live, and to see like one by one live with the lights, I was like, this is
that was fucking
incredible.
banging.
But the crowd was dead. I was a little disappointed for that.
Oh, I'll tell you when.
But it got crazy for High on Fire.
I'll tell you when it was
Yeah.
dead. Did y'all see Children of Bodom in 2016 at the Aztec?
No.
Yeah, I bet
didn't.
those main support. Dude, there must have been less than 200 people there. It was.
Dude,
it
that's
was,
crazy.
It was miserable,
That's
man.
disappointing.
Damn, that's disappointing. But
Yeah.
all right, let's bring it all back to this
Yeah,
Freezy
sorry,
Moon,
sorry,
and
sorry.
so we got to make a decision.
I'm going with Summer.
I'm going summer
Dude, it
too,
was
bro.
tough, but I'm
Yeah.
also going
Yeah.
Dude,
Summer.
I was conflicted, dude.
I know,
I was like,
kind of conflicted,
dude, I
too.
was scratching. I was like, dang.
We're gonna get some bad feedback for that one, but
Yeah.
I like Funeral.
Yeah, people love this
I
Mayhem
like
album,
Freezing
dude.
Moon a lot, but my thing with Freezing Moon is like it doesn't. The verses don't capture, or like the verses. I'm not gonna say that. The blasting parts don't. It doesn't flow like a song that I would love. Like I love Summer of Diabolical Holocaust. I think Summer is Darkthrone close to their best.
Oh,
Whereas I
exactly.
think there's better Mayhem songs than Freezing Moon. I don't know why it's the most
yeah,
popular.
exactly.
I like the intro. I can see why it's like a good opener for people to, or like a gateway for people to get into Mayhem. But I think there's better songs in the album.
Oh yeah,
you
this is
know?
gonna be a hot take, but this is what I believe. Honestly, the B sides are way better than the A sides.
On the Mayhem side,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's like it's
great.
fucking crazy how much
Yeah.
better it is.
Look,
yeah.
all those true kill dorks, they just need to get out of their basement and talk to some ositas online or something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude, but those guys, like, if someone, I've always had this like rule for judgment of, I shouldn't say judgment, categorizing metalheads. If I meet someone who's like really into one genre, whether it's, we'll use black metal as the example, and they don't like the fucking the artists that influence those artists to make that music. Like, if you don't like Black Sabbath or like Iron Maiden,
Or Alice
Megadeth,
Cooper.
anything, Alice Cooper, yeah, sure. I really I don't hold you in, like, I'm not going to take your opinion as serious. You know what I mean?
feel
Same
you.
if someone's just like, I only listen to metalcore. And have you listened to Megadeth? No, I don't listen to any
There's
thrash.
so many
Come
influence
on,
on there.
dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on. You gotta, if you're gonna respect metal and say you're a metalhead, start from the bottom
Exactly.
with Black Sabbath, and then work your way up to that shit.
I think that's
You know?
the problem
It's
with
just
today's.
hard though because once you're in black metal, that's like the most extreme you can get.
Yeah, it
like
is.
so
It is.
going to like a regular riff or a slower riff, it gets boring, dude. Like if you're not
I guess,
into that,
but like we started with like new metal, right, when we were kids.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
can still go back and be like, bro, Black Sabbath is the dirtiest
oh yeah,
band
yeah,
that
Well, it's-
ever existed.
Some years are just different, like especially if you don't have time. Like
Yeah.
some albums you have to sit. Like I said,
What's the time? That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's a categorization of metalhead. Because I'm like, well, you don't take it that serious. Like, you
Yeah.
might just take black metal serious.
I got you,
And you're
yeah.
in your little pond. But maybe you should explore. Like, how can you, dude? I could not just listen to one. It doesn't matter if it's black metal, death metal. I can't do one subgenre of metal for the rest
No,
of my
you'll
life.
get
and be
bored,
like,
dude.
what's
you,
that?
You'll get real bored.
I know. I
yeah.
don't understand. These dudes are like, I think it's just more prevalent in the black metal scene. We're like, no, I only listen to black metal. Like, I don't listen to any. How? Like, you can't listen to anything else? That's
Those are the,
that's
those are the
a
worst.
miserable
Those are the
existence.
worst of the worst.
Dude, they really are. But anyway, okay. Darkthrone going up again. This is looking
Wow.
rough. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go on to track number 3, The Dance of Eternal Shadows versus Cursed in Eternity.
Another tough one for me, to be honest.
Oh my goodness.
I had a tough time with this one.
Yeah, this one I had a tough time as well. Who wants to start? Carlos, start us off with this.
So should I talk first about Cursed or
Yeah,
Dance?
go into Cursed. Because Cursed, solid song. But
So
sorry,
more
go-
riffy goodness to start things off. The fellow Latino Hellhammer. I'm joking. He could easily pull off of being a Latino man.
He really could. He
Showing
really
his
could.
drumming chops, blasting along with Attila's mixed bag vocals.
Yeah. But I
I'm
think
sorry,
every
I-
song they get slightly more acceptable.
Oh, you
From
know
my-
what?
from my
No,
standpoint.
they're pretty deranged, dude. It
It's
works
kind
for
of
the
funny.
song,
I
man.
actually wrote you here in my notes. I literally wrote, I imagine Blackout not taking Attila's vocals seriously and laughing.
You could read my mind, dude, 100%. It's tough too.
But even though they're a mixed bag, I do appreciate them.
Yeah. I mean, they work for this song, but like I think Curse of Eternity, I think it's one of the top tier songs in the album for me. Like,
Oh, yeah,
personally.
for sure.
I think it's just a
Especially
solid.
the latter half when you're doing the tremolo picking with the double bass. That's
Oh,
fucking
it's
sick,
so
dude.
nasty.
At
Yeah.
247, though, I do
Yeah.
like his scream. It's very. It was
Yeah.
a pretty sick scream. So
Hey, I gotta admit that like Varg holds it down on bass.
his bass is so perfect in the
Yeah,
mix.
I was about to say, like, the mixing. One thing we haven't even talked about yet is the difference of production between these two albums.
Oh, it's absolutely
is stark.
crazy,
Like,
dude.
it is going back and forth was hilarious.
It really, yeah.
It's so funny
I
to
think
hear.
that was part why I was so.
Yeah,
this
no,
was a rough
honestly,
one.
it really
Yeah.
was. Like, this is one of the first debates I've ever had to do where I had to do it separate. Because usually I do like first track versus first track,
gotcha.
Yeah.
second track. I couldn't do it with these two.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
I
'Cause
just
it's
could
like,
not.
There's
do
a
it.
jump in volume. There's the mix of guitar on the Darkthrone side is hilarious.
Yeah,
That guitar
dude, it was
tone,
wild.
But I love it. Like, to
Yeah.
be honest, I really like the Darkthrone sound. Not that I don't like the Mayhem one.
Yeah.
I just think the Darkthrone one makes me laugh so fucking like it's just so ridiculously caveman.
Oh my god, they did that shit on purpose.
Like,
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
they did. They literally, dude, might as well find the worst speaker you can, and it sounds better. Like, for some reason, that Darkthrone, I hate listening to songs on like my AirPods, like earbuds or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But this Darkthrone album sounds awesome in it. Like, it's so stupid sounding.
That's funny.
Hey, but hey, Transylvanian Hunger sounds even worse. So.
It does. That's the thing that I think is crazy because they were definitely doing it on purpose.
Oh,
is
yeah.
A Blaze in the Northern Sky sounds better than Under a Funeral Moon and much better than
Oh,
Transylvania Hunger.
jeez.
You know?
Dang,
So I'm like,
okay.
what the
Oh.
fuck happened? Because, dude, there's sometimes where Fenris hits the low tom, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and it's so fucking loud
Yeah.
compared to the rest of the drum kit, it just cancels out everything. And then the snare, this is also like a testament to him blasting is not my favorite thing. Fenris's blasting.
Yeah.
And their songs where I'll get into it, it's just like there's no snare in the mix. Like you can't even hear the snare. Like
oh,
there's
yeah.
just
You know what? I didn't even think about that.
fucking
Yeah.
bass drum. But
Yeah.
either way, Varg, as many people hold him in controversial opinion on him,
He's
just from
an-
the music standpoint, he does a really good job holding down
He's
the
an
bass.
interesting fellow.
Let me ask you this: why? And you probably know the answer to this. I didn't look it up. Why is Necro Butcher not on this record? Like, why is it Varg?
I believe he got. Did y'all see Lords of Chaos?
I did see Lords of Chaos. Yeah.
Based on the Truth and Lies.
I don't remember it really because I
I
was
don't
like,
know how. Oh, jeez. Ivan was so annoyed.
yeah.
You know when Varg was getting laid, it's like black metal dudes don't get laid.
What the hell, dude?
He was so annoyed that Varg was getting laid in the movie. Well, supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not. But I think Necro Butcher got fired. And also, he
Oh,
was
really?
very good friends with Pele, or Dead, or whatever you want to call him.
Oh,
He took it
okay.
really
Like,
personally.
So when Dead died, yeah.
So yeah. So I don't really.
Interesting. Okay. Because I was wondering, I was like, why did they get? Because I know Necro Butcher was like a big part of Mayhem previous, right? Like he had written a lot of the songs on this.
Or
record.
Jorn. Let's just call him Jorn.
No, dude, you gotta call him Necro Butcher.
But you said in one of the older episodes, that's like the most hilarious name ever.
It is. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I have to call him that. It's the stupidest. Like if you legally change your name to that, you shouldn't even be allowed in the US.
Dang it.
Like coming through customs.
We're not
it's like,
supposed to be laughing on a black metal episode.
God damn.
Could you imagine on your passport? All right, so you're coming to here to do a tour,
Stop, you're
Necro
killing me,
Butcher? Like it's so stupid. Hellhammer. We were saying Hellhammer. That's just as bad. But
Dude,
the
just imagine
worst.
seeing him in pajamas,
Oh,
just
jeez.
like with
I
no
know,
passport,
dude.
dude.
I'm sorry, man, but I actually paid for Ivan's movie ticket. You should have seen his face when we were in the movie theater. He was like, "What the hell did you bring me to, dude?"
That's
Oh my
Oh,
god,
you went and
dude.
saw
I
Lords of
saw
Chaos in theater.
Yeah, I did see it in
Oh
theater.
That's
shit!
awesome.
I saw like way after the fact. I have a lot of opinions.
There wasn't
about
a lot
it,
of people in the theater because
Oh,
it was
I
a limited.
bet.
There must have been maybe 30 people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, all the big black metalers like had distanced themselves from it.
Maniac wasn't even in the movie, dude.
Yeah,
I
and
think
like they didn't even get the rights to use the music, right?
Well, there was some Mayhem
What?
songs.
There was some
remember?
Mayhem songs.
I know Varg.
There's no Burzum, no Darkthrone.
No. Dude, I don't know if you ever saw Varg's YouTube channel. He was so annoyed that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
I
cool.
saw it, dude. I remember all the controversy. But okay, I was about to get with stupid nicknames. What is Varg's?
Count Krishna.
Krishna, dude.
Oh, that's
I
awesome,
can't
dude.
dude. Okay, like I
Yeah.
get that. Like I'm not a fan of like anti-Semitism in any
Yeah,
regards,
exactly, yeah.
right?
That
But
can-
the one thing that I just find so hypocritical is that if they're talking about burning Christians, no one gives a fuck. But if it comes to burning Jews,
Oh,
then,
that's too much.
We gotta fucking lose our minds. I'm like, and second. It's literally the best metal. One of the best metal songs ever is "Angel of Death."
Yeah.
Are we gonna ignore those lyrics? We just-
We
Oh,
got to.
yeah,
We
that's
have
pretty
to
brutal.
ignore them.
yeah. No, but Varg straight up, he doesn't like any
Yeah.
religious person, so I don't.
He's an odd fellow.
He's an odd fellow. But one of the funny, he's got some hilarious, because that
Takes.
Norwegian accent makes them so unintimidating. Like they think they're so tough, but then they start speaking, and you're like,
It's
I
over.
can't take this accent
Might
serious.
as well add Nurgle to that also.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Nurgle's is hilarious, dude. Like, I can't with Nurgle. Like,
Dude, the black metal dorks are
I
gonna
don't
kill
give
us.
up. Have you heard their heroes talk? Like,
Their
it's
heroes
the most
talk.
unintimidating
They're
accent.
demonic lords,
They're
first of
demonic
all.
lords.
Oh my gosh.
Like the cornflakes thing, I have that
Oh,
like,
yeah.
straight to my phone.
Oh my god, dude.
think
Should
I
we
put
talk
that in.
about Dance of Eternal Shadows?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh,
let's get
wait a
back.
minute,
Let's
wait,
reel
what's
us back.
going
Thank you,
on?
Carlos. What's going on? Okay, Dance of
There-
Eternal
so-
Shadows. Once
Ni-
again,
yeah.
Darkthrone to start.
Slow
Fenris
and
is
heavy,
grooving.
dude.
I'm-
Yes.
Fenris is grooving.
I'm picking this one also. Oh my goodness.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Dude, nice
wow.
doomy riff
Darkthrone
to
also?
start the song.
Well, I just want to put on this. We haven't even listened to any of the music,
Dude.
dude. Come on, can we
Dude,
put the
that
intro?
the intro, man. Let me say it. May the power of the riff compel you, man.
Bro, seriously,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
And like I said, Fenris just knows how to groove on this shit. But yeah, I
I
gotta.
love the way this. Oh, this riff is incredible.
Sorry, it's not louder here.
That's slow and heavy.
Woo!
Oh, this riff is so tasty.
I'll drink beer to that.
I finished my
It's that
beer.
low tom. It is so loud.
We're not laughing anymore.
Bastard.
So heavy.
I know. JJ, do me a favor. Turn that dial to the right behind you. This console. Turn it up. Keep going. Turn that shit up. There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna turn it off, but I was like, that's not loud
Ooh,
enough.
I was
Oh,
feeling
We
that,
need it
man.
louder than that, dude.
No, but honestly, like that beat, like when Darkthrone gets into those types of just droning fucking boom, ka.
It puts you into a trance. Or at least I'm
Fenris-
speaking for myself.
Out of maybe all the drummers, him doing that beat is top 3. Like
Oh,
any,
yeah.
like I just love the way that he grooves on that.
Yeah.
Boom, ka, boom. This is like I said, the gateway for me was the big one off of A Blaze in the Northern Sky. What is it? In the Shadow of the Horns.
Yes.
And that's the reason why, dude, is fucking Fenris hitting that shit. You're just like, that is so nasty, right? So,
Dude, it
yeah,
is.
I'm gonna go with Darkthrone again, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Same here.
I'm
dude.
sorry, bro. Like, I like.
It's close though. It was
This
close
is-
to me
It was
personally.
closer,
Yeah.
but
Darkthrone is slaughtering right now.
Darkthrone's on a
slaughter?
tear, dude. People are gonna hate
Wow.
us.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go into track number 4. Unholy black metal versus Pagan Fears.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Pagan Fears is probably my favorite song on the.
It's
yeah,
fucking
I
amazing.
chose that one.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
That's my second favorite.
Love that
I
intro.
like it a
with
lot.
the
I was about to say, should I put on the
Yeah,
intro?
I
of
like
Pagan
it,
Fears? Oh my god, dude! Hellhammer just puts on a fucking clinic.
Oh yeah, this one he ain't
He
so
goes
frantic
fucking
on this
nuts,
one.
Yeah.
So groovy.
It is,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, dude.
Black metal's not supposed to be groovy.
I like it though. You know.
God damn.
Oh my!
That is
I
groovy,
love
dude.
that, dude. Yeah.
Like, this song's literally better than their last 3, dude.
The last 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Pagan Fears, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorites. And
It's a-
Attila, I think, actually does pretty good on this one.
Yeah, he does. The way he says Pagan Fears, too. The way he pronounces it is a little
Yeah,
better.
It definitely sounds better.
Yeah.
And the thing with the song, it's funny that you bring that up with like that black metal's not supposed to groove. You know, all these second wave black metal bands, maybe besides Emperor, all groove. Like they all come back to the riff. Whereas like a lot of the stuff in the modern black metal era that I've listened to, they don't really groove anymore. They get
Yeah.
lost in the blasting, the shoe, and the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, bring it back
There's
to
a lot
square
more
one.
atmosphere
Good old
now.
Norse score.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Norse chord, dude.
Dude, Marduk and Dark
Norse
Funeral is
score.
literally just blasturbation.
Yeah,
But
very
I
true.
love that too. So
Yeah, no, actually, I say that, but when Justin put us on to when he put us on to Magua,
Oh,
they got
yeah.
parts like that where they groove.
They
you
do.
know? Where
But
it's
those
mo-
songs
it's-
are long, dude. It takes forever to get to the groove parts.
But when you do,
Yeah.
it pays off.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like all the albums I've heard from them, they do have parts where they groove. I think it's more of like especially that whole wave of, you know, Ghost Bath, Death Heaven,
Yeah.
all that shoegaze, black metal fucking shit, whatever you think about it. There's no grooving. Where's the
Oh,
groove?
you mean the
Well,
all,
Death
the,
Heaven does
all those
groove,
hipster black
especially on the
metal
new
stuff?
album.
Oh, they groove on the new album?
The new
Okay.
album they groove.
What's
Ghost Bath could be good, but that singer is like literally
I've
might be the worst singer in all metal.
What's
dude.
the album with the moon on it? You sent me that, and I was just like, bro.
The music is
The
good,
music is
but
good,
dude,
but what is
oh
going
my
on with
God,
this
he's like
singer?
crying, and I don't know what the fuck he's doing, dude. It's
Yeah.
weird, dude.
Nah, I've
It's
never
super weird.
heard them though.
Nah, I don't.
I like this. There's another band I like. Shout out to this band called Yellow Eyes. Remember, I was obsessed with
Yeah,
that one
you did
Yellow
show me
Eyes
that
record. But same thing. It doesn't groove.
Nah, it doesn't ring.
You know?
No.
Or what's the other one? Bluntos Nord. Have you ever heard? You might
No,
have
I
heard
haven't
them.
heard
No,
that one.
they're kind of like industrial mix or Imperial Triumphant. They're
Oh,
like
okay, yeah.
black metal, but with
Those are my New York homies, man.
the
I
Art
wish.
Deco spin on black
What do
metal.
you think about Scour? Phil's project.
Dude, I saw them in the bear. I'll show
Oh,
you
that's cool.
afterwards. It was.
It was pretty
incredible.
cool?
It was a legit
like their
black
music.
dude. The production was horrible. Then it was great. That was the whole. But the funny thing is that the records all sound amazing. But
Yeah.
the show, I think they consciously, it's like, you know what, we got to make this a black
Gotta be
metal
as
show.
black metal as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I'm going to ask you
incredible.
about that here in a second
Yeah, yeah.
because we got to get into the Milwaukee Metal Fest
Oh,
review
there you
Slight-
go,
in the middle
yes.
of the episode. But
right.
let's turn it over to Unholy Black Metal. This one's just a very straightforward.
Honestly, it's my least favorite off this album.
really, your least favorite?
It might
the
be
album,
arguably
yeah.
the most repetitious song on
It's
the
It
very
is. It really is.
repetitious.
It's just
Yeah.
straightforward.
It's-
yeah.
Bottom three, for sure. It's fine, but it's just
But the quick solo at 130 was hellish, though. It was like,
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
dang,
I mean, it's fine. It does its job, but I agree. Like, if it came up in a playlist, I'd be fine. But I'm not seeking the song out by any
Yeah,
means.
this is a
Whereas,
bad
like,
mismatch.
The
honestly.
last three, right? Oh no, the last two for Darkthrone. Those two, I would fucking like.
yeah.
You want to throw on some black metal? Put on fucking Summer of the Diabolical Holocaust.
Yes,
like that's
dude.
such a banging song. But now I'm gonna go with Mayhem.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Pagan
Pagan
Yeah,
Fierce as
Pagan
well.
Fierce for
yeah,
sure.
I think we're
Wow.
on the-
Okay, finally get
It
him
was
on
a
the
bad mismatch, honestly.
Yeah, let's get him on the board. All right, was that halfway?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, we are halfway. Let's talk about the album covers. Got no bearing on the debate, but just from a preference standpoint,
Oh, dude, come on.
which one y'all thinking?
Under
Mayhem
a
or
funeral
Dark-
moon, dude. I love it. I love that.
Really?
That fucking dude in there. What was that? Was
That's
that-
got to be. I don't know. What it is. Is it Nocturnal Culta or is it?
No,
is it
yeah,
Feminist?
it's nocturnal. to
Okay.
my knowledge.
Dude, it's awesome,
It's very creepy.
It's iconic to me.
Yeah.
But the Mayhem one isn't.
And that one's also.
The
But
mysterious Sathanas.
when I picture black metal, this is what I picture. Like somebody
Yeah, the
hidden in
woods.
the woods, dude.
Yeah, but don't you remember
But the
in,
thing is, like the whole story was like Varg when they busted him for murdering Euronymous.
Yeah.
Apparently, he had like explosives and
Oh,
all
to
this
bu- to
stuff
burn the
because he
church.
was going to burn
Yeah.
that specific church in Norway.
Oh, that's hard.
So like
dude. Goodness.
that's like a good story to go along with the record, you know, the
Yeah.
album cover. But just from a visual standpoint, looking at both, I would go with
It's
Under the
pure
Funeral Moon. You just
evil.
look and you're like, dude, this is black metal. Well, both have that feel,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Under the Funeral Moon. Those three in a row. I love all three of those album covers, and I love
Yeah.
that I have them on vinyl. But sorry, Carlos.
What do you think, bud?
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Under a Funeral Moon, but a little side tangent, real quick. Don't you remember on the Metal Headbangers Journey, they did like the actual like DVD. There was like a black metal part, and
Yeah.
I think Necro Butcher mentioned something like they used to be heathen churches. They ended up fucking each other. In
Oh
What?
no, it was. I think it was Ivar from Enslaved. He's like they took because he's more into like paganism
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
traditional Norwegian culture, or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, and dude, I can't with the accent, but they're like, they came and they took down the dragons and put crosses or whatever. I'm like, all right.
yeah.
Sorry, dude.
But I think it was interesting that all those guys had an interesting take. But as y'all know, the cringiest one was Gaul. It's like
Oh, Gaul's too much.
it's like Satan.
Satan. Dude, but that's a classic interview.
Oh,
That's like one of my favorite spins wine because when he asks the questions, what's the primary influence for your music? And he takes like a good 3 minutes at least.
He's
and
like, Satan.
just dead air. Satan. And then swigs the wine. Bro, that
Oh,
is
goodness.
that time Gaul's timing is comedic. Like it's perfect. Like my thing is like I can't see it
Yeah.
because I'm a jokey person. It's like I
Yeah.
can't take this shit seriously.
Yeah.
Although I
Yeah.
know Gaul did like torture some dude apparently.
Yeah.
And like went to jail for that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
Yeah. One of my favorite interviews with Gold too is just like when he's just talking about homosexuality. It's like, wait a second, I didn't know you were gay.
Oh
You gotta
my
be a top.
God.
You cannot be a bottom and be this evil. Like, there's no way.
How did we end up talking about this? Jeez, yeah. That's
All
funny.
right.
That's amazing.
On that note, let's go on to track number 5, To Walk in the Infernal Fields versus Life
This one's
Eternal.
fucking hard, dude.
Yeah,
This one was
dude,
hard.
I actually couldn't. I don't
Yeah.
have a decision on this one.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to decide
Yeah.
on the fly here.
But
Really?
honestly, I think Life Eternal is my favorite song off the album.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Life Eternal
Yeah.
is
In
sick.
fact, I'm gonna play my riff.
Oh, wait, real quick,
uh-oh.
real quick, JJ. Before Pele did or whatever you want to call him, blasted his brains out. He actually, to my knowledge, I think he left the lyrics for Life Eternal there. For
Oh, really?
Oh, did he really?
And they
Oh,
used
shit.
it.
They
Yep.
used- yeah.
Wow.
Okay, what's
Oh,
the
308.
308 Life? Let's go into Life.
Dude, that shit, that transition is fucking
Oh yeah,
awesome,
310 to
dude.
346.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I have it here. Yeah,
It's so fucking good,
yeah.
dude.
That is one tasty riff.
The transition is just killer.
Oh, yep.
Oh my, dude, Hellhammer's the fucking man.
Oh, yeah. God, he's fucking nasty.
I mean, it transitions again, dude. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like Merciful Fate.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Right? Yeah.
Great stuff, man.
Yeah.
That part on the hi-hat, the first time I heard it,
Uh-huh.
I was like, is Hellhammer, was he trained as a drummer? Because it's almost got that like that swing.
Oh, yeah.
Right, it's got
Yeah,
like
I
that
can see
jazzy
it.
swing
Yeah.
there, and you're like, oh, okay, all right. Like, that's a little different.
He
you
gets
know?
down, dude. He gets
Hit me,
down.
But
yeah.
the one thing about these two tracks is they're both like the longest, so it's cool that they
Yeah,
got
yeah,
paired
yeah,
up
exactly.
on
Yes.
both records, and they are both journeys. Like
They are, dude.
These are the ones that we were talking about with like atmospheric, or black metal being more atmospheric, where you get lost in the not in the monotony, because it's kind of like a deterrent or like a detractor from the music, but you get lost more in just the repetitiveness of how you know, how do I put this? You get lost in that just overwhelming riff and riff and riff,
Yeah.
and you're just sitting there. And I like it like as passive listening if you're just trying to vibe out, like in the rain, hiking or whatever, and you're just kind of in your own thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And you're just kind of transcending, but it's there. Like it gives you that environment to like, oh, I'm just gonna think. You know what I mean? Which I love that.
Yeah,
and there's
I
only
do.
certain songs that can do that for me. Like, but so that's like the part of black metal I really like. On top, like I love great riffs, but there's a part of it, especially in these songs, where you're just like, I get lost in this shit. And like I said, hiking when
tells
it's
a story.
drizzling,
Yeah.
and you're in some fjord in Norway, dude. And you're just like, bro, this is so life. What is life about? And you're
Yes,
just
dude.
Yeah, but you got the bragging rights though, because you've actually been to Norway. so-
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Shout out to my family in Norway, dude. Yeah, that's. But I did do a hike. I did a couple hikes there, but I definitely listen to black metal. But for me, Enslaved gets me more in that like how do I put it?
It gets you in the mood. It really does.
It gets me in a mood, but it hits me more of like ancestrally. I don't even know how to say. Like I feel
There's a
more
lot of emotion through
tied
their
to their
songs.
music.
I get what you're
from like a
trying to say.
land
Yeah,
like
yeah.
than I do this kind of stuff. There's something about like Roots of the Mountain, dude. I put that
Oh,
on.
yeah.
There's something that just takes me away. Like I'm like, oh, because they mix the prog with it too, so it gives it that larger than
Well,
life.
that and their ability to mesh like emotion and atmosphere.
Yeah,
It's just
very
a great
true.
combo, dude.
Very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of these we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah,
fucking Infernal Fields.
So
to walk in.
I want to play one more riff. I know we're just back to back, but I haven't used it.
okay.
It's only because I had such a tough time with these two songs at 340, bro. That shit's fucking awesome.
to
Too,
walk
dude.
the Infernal Fields,
Yeah.
240.
Yes, dude. That shit's fucking. It's game over. It was a tough one for me, honestly.
Okay.
I really had
It was
fun with both
it
of
was
these.
very doomy song.
Oh, look at that voice.
That's like the shit I just be walking.
Yeah,
with.
dude. It's like You're just feeling it.
Yeah. And that's all I need Fenders to need.
Yeah, dude. Just, just do the job, dude.
Love it.
Yeah, dude.
Love it stuff.
Yeah, you get lost in Infernal Fields, both of them, but I think more so with Infernal Fields, I get really lost in it. So for me, like when it comes to vibes, I gotta go Darkthrone again, dude. I love both these, but like, I
Dang,
think
this is
the
tough.
way that Infernal Fields flows, I like it a little bit better because they cling on to riffs longer,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm looking for in these songs. That essence of like play that riff to death because I'm lost in it, right?
I gotcha.
And I think the other one transitions a little more, not to its detriment. I prefer the other one if I'm gonna be in that black metal mood, you know.
I like Life Eternal, dude. I love the transitions. Like I said, I love that middle part. I like that it goes back to the original riff, dude.
Yeah.
It's really good, dude.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a
Man,
lot.
y'all are gonna make me pick.
Yeah, you
Come
gotta
on,
pick, bro.
Carlos, let's see it.
Let's see what you got.
Goodness, I'm gonna go with Infernal.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn.
Yeah.
Infernal?
Dude, this is a
Honestly,
tough
I can't blame
suit.
you for
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
have a. I
It was
didn't.
a tough choice. It really
Oh my
was.
goodness,
I
man.
can't blame you for that because, like I said, this one was a tough one. But no,
It's because
I
Infernal was
understand.
just like it was just the riffing was just on point on this one. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's go on to track number 6. Yeah, Under Funeral Rune versus From the Dark Past.
From the Dark Past.
Ooh, this one was a little bit easier for me. I like both
Yeah.
of these songs. I'm gonna start with From the Dark Past. Dude, once again, like you said, the B-sides are just better.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Well,
Like, they're better.
You know, it's kind of funny. For the intro for From the Dark Past is actually my favorite on the whole record.
Oh,
Is
it's
it really?
such a banging riff. yeah.
Euronymous did not write that riff. That
Oh.
was Snow. I forget. Snorre Rook, aka Blackthorn.
Blackthorn.
Yeah, he wrote
That's
that
an
riff.
okay nickname.
Yeah.
I prefer your honest.
In Lords of Chaos, he was the guy that was in the car with Varg. Before when he killed Euronymous.
I got you.
he's-
Was that
he's-
actually historically accurate? Did he go?
Yeah, he was actually in the car with Var.
That's
He
right.
drove.
That's where I know his name from.
yeah, that-
Yeah. That movie, dude. I could talk about that for a while.
Yeah.
But no, they're both great songs. I think From the Dark Past, like, I don't know if I like it better than the last two, like Life Eternal and Pagan Fears, but I definitely like it over Cursed Eternity and Funeral Fog.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's up there. I think it's one of the better songs on the record. And dude, Hellhammer just fucking slays. as
he's
per
just a
usual.
monstrous
Like he's an
track,
absolute
dude, yeah.
monster. It's
Yes.
crazy. But Under the Funeral Moon is a great fucking title track.
It is.
Oh,
Like
that
it's a really good title.
Very
track.
nasty riffs to start things.
Oh,
off.
the nastiest. I was about to say
Fast.
that.
Yeah.
When we put the two songs back to back,
Yeah.
just- I was laughing because just the
Oh,
production
they're
difference
totally
is
different,
so
dude. It's
funny
crazy,
on the
dude.
Darkthrone guitar is just so nasty, dude. I have a pig nose amp, which is like a little box amp that's like battery powered, basically. I'd love to just listen to Darkthrone through that.
Oh
as
my
as
god,
it's
dude.
meant. Dude,
That's
just
the
a-
ultimate experience.
That's the ultimate experience, dude. Just a fucking horrible. I could get one of those like little Marshall amps that they have. They're like this big. Fucking put Darkthrone through that. That's how it should sound.
That's
but
hilarious.
no, I like both of these. It was a little bit easier, dude. I think Under the Funeral Moon is a clearly better song for me personally. Like I like both, but I was.
I
I'm
like
gonna go with
both.
Dark Past. Thank
Oh,
goodness.
big hit, JJ. You're gonna be the tiebreaker
Goodness.
today.
I'm going with Dark Fast too, bro.
Really?
I am.
Dude,
I actually really enjoyed both songs. I
And-
really did. I had a
And
tough
guess
time.
what? This was another
Yeah.
one. I had a hard time making a decision, but
No shit, dude.
I like I said, Hellhammer's drumming is just incredible, dude. Like he's on a different level.
Dude, but Under the Funeral Moon is I don't know. That's nasty work to me. I love that
the
song.
riffing is nasty
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
would you say Jan or Hellhammer? Would you say he's the best drummer in the genre?
Dude, it could be true. Like honestly,
Is Hellhammer the best?
like his
drummer
placement
in
is
black metal?
unbelievable.
Well,
Or at least
Yeah.
the second wave.
for being a genre that's more or less noise for the average folks, I mean, come
Well,
on.
he has some complexity. He has actually a lot more
definitely up
complexity.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know, because
Um,
think about it. The genre has these unique. I mean,
I love Horg or whatever.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dude from Immortal.
Horg,
and then of course Frost.
Hellhammer, Frost.
Hellhammer's better than Frost, I think.
It's just the intensity shines
he's
through.
better
Dude.
than-
You can just
he's-
tell
he's
like,
better than-
how hard he's fucking hitting these drums.
But I
Yeah.
just say
Yeah.
distinguishing.
Who's the dude on it in the Nightside Eclipse and the next that guy's
Oh,
fucking
oh,
crazy.
oh,
he's
Faust?
cool too.
Faust, dude.
Faust,
Faust,
yeah. The
has got
murderer,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
the murderer.
Yeah.
The murderer
murderer.
can drum like a motherfucker.
yeah.
Like his endurance is
Oh
wild.
yeah.
Um,
Whoa, he was a kiddo. Come on.
true.
Okay.
But even still, like,
Yeah.
but no, I think you could be right. Hellhammer's got to be probably the best probably the best in the second
He's probably
wave.
the most just technically efficient.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Efficiency is
Because
amazing.
Later,
Yeah.
I don't love the drummer of Enslaved at that time, but when they get Kano in the group, I think that's the album after Beneath Their Lights. Which one is that? Rune or Iso? One of those two. When they get him, he's like one of my favorite drummers. Like he fucking took it Enslaved to the next level. I think.
Yeah, sorry for the side tangent.
No,
but
you're
yeah,
good.
it's,
You're good. I think that's a good because we always talk about it with like the big four of thrash, like which drummer we like the
Yeah.
most, right? So like same kind of thing here, and I think it's got even if I wouldn't put Mayhem as my favorite band in them in this era of black metal, I think Hellhammer, especially when you see him in the studio doing his shit.
Oh, dude, he's a monster.
Have you seen those YouTube videos? I gotta show you afterwards.
Oh, yeah?
You're gonna be like, what the fuck with this hell?
Like I'm already impressed with him.
Yeah,
so,
but you see him do it also, and you're just like, oh my god, no, that guy's got fucking problems. Like that's crazy. But
Dude, that's amazing.
yeah, did I already give it to? No, I didn't. Right?
No, you
okay,
didn't.
Home up
No.
one. Boom. Okay. Let's go to track number 7. I'm gonna do my best with Norwegian.
Oh,
In
God.
Enedipe, In Enedipe Skogers Favn versus Buried by Time and Dust. Which In Enedipe Skogers Favn is into the embrace of the forest, into the dark embrace of the forest.
Oh,
Some shit
that's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah. That's my best Norwegian.
Love
for
the
day.
symbol work Fenris does on this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
goodness.
this
I
is
was about
pretty-
to say,
pretty easy.
I do like that, but can I be honest? I think this one might be my least favorite
What,
song on the
dude?
record, dude.
I chose
Whoa, I chose it too. That's
Dude.
This is
so
the one
funny,
where I'm
dude.
like, there's a lot of blasting, but there's no snare in the fucking song, dude. It bugs the
Wow.
shit out of me.
Oh,
And then there's
goodness.
at the end of the song, Fenris does this tempo change that just doesn't like. I like that there's
Well, it's so simple, but
click.
it's very effective.
no.
Yeah.
It's just it's just not. They're not playing in the right tempo. Like
And it's just bugging the fuck out of
yeah,
you.
they're fucking one's playing in one tempo, the other's playing the other, and they're not together. And then like it sometimes when he drags and then they come back, or like you slow down purposefully, it adds this character to the music.
Yeah.
But this one is like a swing and the miss. He tries to slow down, but they're both not playing at the right tempo or not at the same tempo, and it just feels off. But like I said, my real offender with the song is when he blasts. There's only bass drum. There's no fucking snare to be found. in the
Dude,
song,
I literally wrote at the end, I wrote the clear winner. It's like, geesh, wow.
Oh.
Wow, dude. Yeah, I am surprised. Honestly.
No, but I like it. I really did. I wasn't enjoying it, which I think is crazy because they have that like I would say kind of like their greatest hits records, that Peaceville presents Darkthrone thing.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
and this
talking
is the
about.
only song they put off of Under Funeral Moon. I'm like, really?
that is
Like,
wild. Honestly,
there's
Yeah.
no way this
It's-
is the one I would pick.
It's very Darkthrone of them.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I agree with that. That's
That is
true.
who
That
they
is very
are,
Darkthrone of them. Yeah. And it is very caveman and like no rules. It's off the rails.
Yes.
It is legitimately,
Yes.
this song is off the rails. Okay. But like I said, my one thing with Fenris, I love his grooves, but the blasting, I'm like, dude, if you're going to blast, you got to keep that left hand up, bro. Like, I got to hear that snare smacking. Like that dude
Yeah.
from Suffocation has that YouTube video. He's
Oh,
like, some
yeah.
people can't keep up the intensity. He just fucking goes insane. I'm like,
dude, that's fucking
that's
crazy.
true.
Yes.
But no, but I really like by Buried by Time and Dust, dude. I think it's a solid track.
I think
Is
it
it my
was solid.
favorite?
No.
No.
It's
but
funny, on 110 to 243, it's nothing but blasting and riffing. And I don't got
Yeah.
to deal with Attila's vocals. That's just a moment where I could just, you could just
Yeah,
vibe.
I know I
and if I'm
said-
gonna take blasting, I'm gonna take fucking Hellhammer's blasting for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah, I know I said it was better. Like the B-sides are better, which they are in my opinion. But honestly, Buried in Time and Dust is a weaker track to me, personally. I think Freezing Moon's better.
Look at William's face, man.
No. You're not wrong. I just
Yeah.
think that In Enedipe Skogers Favn is like the worst track on the record.
Oh,
for me,
goodness.
personally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go by Buried by Time and Dust.
Nah, I gotta go with Embrace
Yeah.
the Forest.
Yeah, the embrace of the dark forest. No, say the Norwegian part.
All right,
Fuck
last
Mobile,
one.
wow, all
Oh,
right.
goodness.
All right, let's go into the last track, track number 8, Crossing of the Triangle Flames. What is that? I love that that title of that song. Versus De Mysteriis Dam Sathanas, which, if you didn't know, is Latin for the mystery of the Lord Satan.
Ah, I mean, I could kind of guess.
Yeah, it was pretty close. So, if you have Spanish down, it's pretty close. To,
Yeah.
I guess, can I do my little So let me talk about Crossing the Triangle Flames. Oh gosh, that sounds.
Tell me about it. I want to cross the
So,
triangle.
so this
flames.
tune is probably, in my opinion, the most evil sounding. I imagine some sort of evil ritual occur with this song in the background. My boy Fenrir's going ham with the cymbal work.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite drumming performance on the album. That distortion, the guitar distortion is so pleasant to my ears. Cannot stress that enough, that the drums are hot on this song. The riff at 344 is a nasty one. And then that bell towards the end is a bonus treat. Bells and metal are just one evil combo. And this is a banger, and I'll just say straight up, this one wins by a landslide.
I don't disagree with anything that you just said.
I love the galloping too, man.
The other thing
galloping
is,
in the song.
what is that thing that Fenris is hitting at the end of the fucking
I don't
song?
know.
I don't
What
know.
is that?
Gong,
Like,
bell.
bing! It's just
I love it. It's perfect.
It's perfect. It fits so well into the atmosphere of Darkthrone
Yeah.
that it's really hard for me.
There's just something about bells and metal, gongs. It's just evil.
Gongs.
And the
Yeah.
right placement.
And
yes.
but Dear Mysteriis Dom Sathanas is it's good. It's good.
Hey, it's a
good.
good one.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's
Solid.
not. I don't think it's on the. I agree. I think it's a landslide with Crossing the Triangle Flame. And one thing that I was going to bring up with that too, that we didn't even bring up. Or sorry, I didn't even bring up throughout this whole debate, is what the fuck is up with the ending of like almost all the songs on both records. Because on the Darkthrone side, there's like dead air for 10 seconds
Yeah,
on
I
every
know.
fucking song,
Yes, dude.
which is like what? And then on the Mayhem side, there's just abrupt endings.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
Wait,
like
can you
balancing them,
no,
please.
conclusions are not true cult. Like we must end the song on a random note, you know. But the dead air kills me. But on this song specifically, I like the fade out. You know, so
me too.
it contrasts that whole dead air shit and makes the album like a pleasant end to the record. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
It's
I
a very
getcha.
good last song. It's probably the best last song on any of their records. To be quite honest. I just like that fade out with the fucking belt thing or whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's just very satisfying to get to the end of the record and
exactly.
you're like,
Yes,
oh
yes.
wow, that was a cool 45 minutes of my life, you know.
But I'll give a quick shout out to the Mysteriis Dom Sathanas. I mean, hot intro to start things off.
It's
Yeah.
pretty fucking evil. that
Attila's
intro.
voice
is,
was
yeah.
actually kind of
It
creepy
is.
on this one.
It is.
Yeah.
What is up? Like you said, he goes operatic. This is the one where I'm like, he has. I don't know what part of the song. It's like in the first half of it, but he's got like this chanting thing, like.
Yeah, that's a
there
little.
it is,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is very eerie.
Yeah, I was like, this.
So many bands got influenced by this song.
I
though,
know.
for
I was
sure,
like,
dude.
I was like, is this Baskuja or what's that
Yes,
band from
dude,
Poland
yeah.
or whatever?
But I don't even know how to pronounce the name.
I think it's. I saw them at Vakken. Was like the first
know,
time I
yeah.
ever saw them, and they had like some legal thing, right?
Yeah,
Or-
there's like two bands or something.
yeah. I think someone got pissed off, but they're Polish.
yeah, I
they're
think
Polish.
so.
Yeah,
I think you're
Polish.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them, but sorry, that chanting reminded me of their music because that whole thing is just like.
Yeah, dude. So many bands got influenced by them. So I mean, you got kudos to this song. yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Kudos to the whole album.
Yeah.
Because it's very different. Are you a fan of Bathory? Do you like Bathory?
I own every Battery album.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay.
nice.
What's your favorite Bathory record?
The first one, just for what it.
Oh, okay, the
just for what
self-titled?
just for what it symbolizes, the vibe, the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Bathory or Mayhem?
Mayhem.
Mayhem? Oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
I
okay,
honestly think it's because I'm not one of those black metal dorks. I actually appreciate all of Mayhem's catalogs. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not like lost and just I can only do the Death Crush. Or whatever.
Oh no, dude!
I don't even know which.
Actually,
the
my
most
favorite
true-
Mayhem record is Chimera.
Wow.
Funny, Chimeras are basically my favorite band, but the
Yeah.
Chimera, the production is amazing.
Yeah.
Blasphemer, the guy that was just like when Necro Butcher was wasted on him.
Oh yeah.
He's such an
That's great.
he's such an overlooked guitar. I just think people just
Blasphemer.
or Rune is his name.
Yeah.
I just think his compositions were overlooked because it's all about Euronymous. It's like,
Yeah, that's true.
dude, listen
That's
to the
true.
records with him.
But
he
dude,
is.
that's the problem with black metal. Like, it's so popular only because of the stories. Where it's
Yeah.
like that's like 90% of the. I shouldn't say that because
No.
it's such a bold, like, stereotype. But really, so many black people metal that I've talked to, it's just like it's not even about the music. It's just like, dude, the guy murdered the other
Well,
guy.
the stories add to the
But,
lore.
Rune-
I get it. The lore is deep.
yes.
But
the black metal.
Rune did end up when he left Mayhem in 2008. He was just I think he moved from Norway to Portugal,
Yeah.
And I didn't know nothing about him for a while, but he ended up doing a band with David Vincent.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Ultimus?
cool.
Yeah, Ultimus.
Dude,
Yep,
I like
that's-
Ultimus.
Yep, that's
that fucking first Ultimus record is. They only have one, right?
No, they have two.
Oh, I don't think I've heard. The
So
second
it's
one.
kind of funny. Ultimus
Wait,
is basically
is it black metal or death metal?
no,
It's
well,
like
Black and Death.
Black
Oh,
and Death.
Black
and Death.
You would like it. You
Yeah,
would actually
nice.
really
so
fucking like
Ultimus is
it.
basically
I think
just
you've listened to it, dude, because it's spelled weird. You wouldn't
Yeah.
pronounce it Ultimus.
it's with a V,
It's with a V.
but it's
Yeah.
Ultimus.
Oh,
so
I might
just
have
Yeah,
then.
I think
so
you have, yeah.
imagine Mayhem type riffing, but it's David Vincent. screaming.
Yeah, that's
It's-
what I'm saying. Yeah,
I think you dig him.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, 100%. I think the other thing I was going to bring up is because we talked about Bathory. What about Celtic Frost? Because people put them in the first wave of black metal, right?
Yeah, they do.
Would you prefer them or Bathory or Mayhem?
How dare you, man?
I gotta know.
Well,
Ultimus.
I think
I
we
think you
talked.
showed me this. Yeah.
I think we talked about this a while back, but if I were to argue the greatest final record, I mean, obviously the greatest final album of all time is Death, the Sound of Perseverance, but number 2 and number 3, I would say number 2 is Celtic Frost Monotheist.
Yeah.
Then number 3 would be, that's if Sepultura really are, then I would put Quadra as number 3, so.
Yeah.
But my favorite Celtic Frost album is Monotheist, though.
Really?
Dude.
Yeah, that's a fucking great album.
But here's the thing, though. A lot of the older Celtic Frost fans, they aren't too fond of it because the production is too modern.
Oh, come on. No, I think that record's solid. I think my favorite Celtic Frost album is the self-titled. Like, I love that record.
Fair enough, yeah.
But what's it called? Because what's the song in there? Circle of Tyrants or whatever?
Yeah.
God, that fucking song is amazing.
Obituary famously covered it, so.
Yeah. But I love that one. To Make a Therion's also great. But I agree with you. I think that last record is fucking awesome.
Dude, even Cold Lake is. I'm an apologist for that one.
I think I would take Celtic Frost over Mayhem or Bathory, for me personally. I like their
Frost.
stuff more.
Darn it, Celtic Frost.
Celtic,
Yeah.
Celtic. I say Celtic. Whatever.
Celtic.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, did I already give the last point? I
Yeah.
didn't, right?
Yeah.
We're done.
All right, JJ, I already
This
know.
was a-
This is
this was a slaughter.
Whoa, what's the
It was
score?
a little closer.
What was it?
I guess 5-3.
Not
Five to
bad.
3, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was
okay.
a modest-
when
modest
I
win.
look at my notes,
I mean,
I pick like 2 Mayhem songs. Like,
Wow.
well, I'm kind of biased because I mean, obviously everyone's biased, but I prefer Darkthrone.
To be honest, the first run, Mayhem like blew them away. And my run, like I told you, I didn't like the production. It took me a while. Like,
Oh,
this
for
was-
Darkthrone, you
yeah.
didn't like the Dark. I thought you were saying the other way because of fucking Attila's voice.
No, I like the production here. Like when because remember I was
Oh.
telling you I was going one
Yeah,
by
yeah,
one,
yeah.
and like God, dude, that
Oh,
sounded
it's
fucking
rough,
awful.
yeah.
But when you listen to them separate, like there's a clear winner.
And it's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. When I told shout out again to Joe Weston from England, my buddy Joe. When I told him we were gonna do Mayhem versus Darkthrone, he was like, "Oh man, fuck mate. As much as I love Mayhem, I'm gonna have to go with Darkthrone on this one." So
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think we got it right personally.
Yeah,
Although a
me
lot
too.
of people I think are gonna hate. I do.
I don't give a fuck.
Whoa,
I'm
But
just
I
saying.
think-
I'm saying they're
but-
gonna pick this album.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I don't even blame them because, like, obviously, like we talked about, the production is definitely there on the Mayhem
And the
side.
lore,
And
dude.
the lore is way deeper on the Mayhem
It's way
side.
deeper.
But for me, like, when it comes to the caveman black metal, and we're gonna say what's true black metal with a V, that sound that Darkthrone has, that to
That
me
is
on
black
this
metal.
record in A Blaze in Northern Sky, that is what when I think of black metal, I think of that
That's
terrible guitar tone and
Just
fucking
crushing the
caveman
riffs, dude.
drumming.
Caveman
Exactly.
drumming.
Yeah, I love
agree.
it. Shout out to Fenris and Nocturnal Cult. I wish they would just do one run, dude. Just one. Because I was telling JJ, could you imagine?
look. London, Paris, Buenos Aires, Santiago, Mexico City, New York, Chicago, another city. What would be another hub
Los
city?
Angeles.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
just
it.
do a major cities
Tokyo,
tour.
yeah.
Do the A
What kind of
markets.
crowd
All
do
the
they
A
draw?
markets.
What, like, would it be like an amphitheater? Like, how big could they get?
I think they could do, not in the U.S., but I think in all the other countries that I mentioned, Mexico, South America, Europe, I think they could do like 3,000 to 5,000 at
Yeah,
least.
5,000,
Fucking
man.
good
Yeah.
for them. Yeah.
I think in the U.S. we're talking 1,000 to 2,000, maybe.
Oh,
I think
dude,
they missed the time where black metal was so popular.
Well, when
I
Immortal
gotcha.
did backstage, we were sardines in there, man, because people came
Really?
from all over the states. So
Oh, okay. Because
okay.
it did a limited run. Yeah, I think actually, if they did a limited run, like you're saying in the United States, they could probably draw a pretty big crowd if they're only doing like 2 to 3 dates. You know.
Yeah, they could just do the Emperor thing. So.
But I was telling JJ because we were talking about it last time. I was like, bro, imagine you go see Darkthrone, lights go down, and you get fucking Catherian life code into the Shadow of the Horns as your 1/2.
Oh goodness.
I would lose it. Like that's too good. And then give us the rest of the hits.
Dude, honestly, I
afterwards.
love when bands do limited runs. Like Meshuggah, for example, they come every few years. Like
5
the
years, basically.
anticipation is
Chimera's
fucking
doing the same
unbelievable.
thing. They're
Yeah.
only doing festivals.
And trust
so.
me, dude, honestly,
System
I
of a Down,
really
dude.
love Trivium and I love Machine Head, but they sometimes over tour, dude.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well,
They
yeah.
come every year,
Oh.
dude.
And
I'll
trust me,
still
I
go.
will see them. I will. You're right. I'm
I'll
being a little
still be there.
hypocritical. I'm just saying, like, if I saw them like 3 years from now, like the anticipation would be like fucking mind blowing, dude.
I do
Gotcha.
agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I like when they do limited runs, especially like
True.
yeah, just cool.
The fucking system
Yeah.
formula, you know.
Dude,
I know.
And
stadiums,
God,
oh
these
goodness.
fucking system tours that
They're
they've been
insane,
doing,
dude.
just
The
crazy.
Chile crowds
Yeah,
are
the
The
fucking
crowds, it's like
unbelievable.
every crowd that they did in South America had to one up the one before. Because they're like, oh, Peru, that's crazy. Holy shit, Chile's wild. And then the last two in Brazil are just
Oh,
like,
no.
bro,
Brazil
that's
won.
fucking
Brazil
fire,
That's
won.
just
dude.
anarchy. Like, that's just a fucking
That
riot,
was
dude.
such a riot.
I mean,
dude.
I don't know how you can't get down. And we're talking about this on a true cult
Yeah.
episode. But like, how can you not see that as a metal?
Sorry to annoy you, dorks. Oh goodness.
I can't. Is that not what you would want for all your favorite bands to have a crowd of
Just pure
thousands of people
chaos. Yes, dude.
perpetuating chaos? Like, you know,
Yeah.
Every time I see a metal band, like that's what I always imagine. Like it doesn't come to fruition, but like you can imagine like all the chaos that you're gonna feel.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Fruition.
Yeah, there you go. I said fruition.
Well,
We're
gentlemen,
gonna get corrected again. But yeah, I'm sorry. The fucking debate's over.
we did it, gentlemen.
Yes. We did
it.
We got through.
We did it.
We
That's
did a
another
black
black
metal episode.
episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope I did a good job.
No, you did good, man.
Always. All right. So if you think that the mysterious Dom Sathanas is better, what's their opinion, JJ?
You're wrong.
Your opinion is wrong. We'll catch you in the next one. Like and subscribe.
Peace
we'll
out,
be
guys.
back with another. Take it easy.